What's up? What's up? What's up? What's good, world? What's going on? We are back in the cave tonight, continuing from last night's wonderful, amazing show. And as y'all know, I'm your host, Cal Williams. And of course, I'm joined always by my big bro, DJ Favor. And
What's happening?
of course, we have one of the ladies of the cave. Yes, fellas, we do have ladies that's, a part of the cave. They chime in, jump in every here and there, try to keep us cavemen in check, but they know they can't. Nah. But shout out to Miss Lala for joining us tonight. Lala, what's going on with you?
Hey.
We're gonna be a gentleman tonight. We're gonna lead with you first and ask you how you doing, how was your week, what was going on. Is that okay, Jacob? Okay, can we be some gentlemen?
I'm good with it. Let's do this.
Let's do. Okay.
Welcome
At
to the
least for a little
cave.
while. Let's at least
You
for
know
a
what
little,
I'm saying? Yeah. We go.
for a
Yeah.
little while. Then we'll act.
Don't get used to this.
For a
Yeah.
little
No, I'm
while.
just playing.
I'm doing good.
Okay.
My week is going well. No complaints really. How
Okay.
how are you guys?
I'm great.
Everything's
I'm great.
everything.
Making it do what it do.
I have one complaint, the show last night.
Okay, talk
When
to me.
I'm not on the show, I have to figure out how everybody's commenting because my comments on the Facebook side
Uh-huh.
is like you guys see them like 20 minutes later. And then you're like reading them and they're like all, like bunched
It's because
together. And you're like, oh
okay,
no,
let me.
Lala, okay. Lala's going off in the
Oh,
comments.
I'm gonna tell you why.
And like, it must be like a lag or something.
Because Cal be getting deep into conversation
okay.
and
Yeah,
we don't be paying attention
I
to the
do.
comment. Like
I do.
Queen is in the comments right now. Like, hey Queen, how you doing?
Hey,
She
Queen,
probably
how you
posted
doing?
that about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah,
But
probably.
Right. But no, that's like,
Probably.
remember when Cal sneezed and I was like, bless you in the
bless you.
comments? And he's like,
Yeah.
oh, you said it 50 minutes later. And I'm like, no, I said it right when it
Yeah,
happened.
we don't be paying attention sometimes. We
Okay. That's
be,
what. So you're saying that we need to,
that's
get
what
that
she's
Pay
saying.
attention to the Facebook comments, but I got you guys covered because I have the Facebook comments up on my end. Sorry, that's why you guys heard the feedback a little bit ago.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Okay. Hey,
Okay,
it's
we
all
understand
gravy.
that. Well, hey, well,
It's
definitely.
all
Let's
gravy.
see. We see the comments. We got 2 comments posted already. One by Queen. She said, "Hey, what's up, Queen? What's going
What's
on with you?
happening? We
You
miss
know,
you.
yeah, definitely.
We so
That's
miss you.
also family to TDR family and also the other female of the cave. So
Yeah.
shout out to Queen. And oh, okay. We see Hall's in the comments again. Hall said, "Nah, Cal, keep that same energy." Okay. So see, my people like that. I come with it.
We can't start tonight, Hall. We got ladies in the cave tonight, Hall. We
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
be
Oh
we
no,
gotta be on our
absolutely.
best
Do your thing.
behavior.
I'm just,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because
Well, okay,
no,
we'll
see,
let.
Hall gonna let you have it anyway.
Yeah, he
So
gonna let me be me. He gonna let me be me. He gonna let me be great. My man
Right.
Hall gonna let me be great. So I'm gonna let Jacob do what he do and let
hey,
Jacob be the gentleman, and I'm gonna be the guy that I am.
I be trying, but
Show me.
I don't, sometimes it don't work, dog. You know what I'm saying? Hey.
Oh yeah. I have taught Jacob how to be a troublemaker. I take credit for that. He was too nice.
I think I always was. That's where the instigator come from. But
Yeah. You always had it in you, but
I
you would
toned it down a little bit. Yeah, I've been toning
you
it.
would backpedal. You had it in you, but you would throw a little jab, and then you'd be like, nah. You know what I'm saying? I taught you how to stand firm and be like, man, get
Here
that,
we
man.
go.
That's what I said. I said it.
Here we go.
You know what I'm saying? I take credit for that.
Yeah.
We entered the
It's
game.
early in the show.
He
It
didn't
just started.
you know what I'm saying?
I-
He came out of he came
Well,
he came
I'm
into
in here,
the
so
game.
Jacob, I'm gonna tell you it's okay to feel that way, Jacob. It's all right.
No. We in the cave now. Forget that. Leave all that stuff in front of the door. See, let me tell you something. Ain't no Yogi Bears in the cave. Ain't no
Mhm.
Bears in the
Yogi
cave.
Bear.
You a grizzly in the cave. You know what I'm saying? You a grizzly. Ain't no Yogi Bears in the cave. We kick Yogi out. We don't do that. We
I
grizzlies.
hear you.
You know what I'm saying?
What's up, Gal?
What's up? What's good?
Good to see you.
Hey, what's up? What's
What's
going on?
happening?
You know,
Yeah,
making it do what it do,
hey,
man. But yo, let's talk about this. Okay, now, you know, like we said, shout out to Queen. Queen was actually, you know, actually reached out to us on this particular topic that we are going to talk about tonight. So shout out to Queen on this. You know, we definitely going to do that. And of course, we're going to recap on last night's show because now we have one of the women of the cave in here. So we going talk
She was in the comments last night.
Yeah, because Lala was in the comments hard. She was in the comments.
I was just responding to what you guys were talking about. I was just responding.
Oh no, we loved it. We loved it, but we love that energy. So we gonna continue to talk about, is a man supposed to pay all of the household bills? You know, because we got Lala physically here. So we gonna get some of her, you know, her feedback on that. But we also gonna attack tonight's topic, which is ignoring the red flags in a relationship and still choosing to stay. I'm gonna say that again. Ignoring the red flags in a relationship and still choosing to stay. So we definitely gonna talk about that because it's a lot of that going on. I see that all the time. I see that all the time. The writing be right on the wall.
It's about to go down.
Right on the wall, and they choose to ignore it, but then they want to call you and complain about it. I don't want to hear it. You know what it is.
You already know.
You already know. So why are you calling me? Like I don't want to hear this. Right. You know, but you know, being a good friend I am, I listen. But then I give that harsh advice. I give that hardcore advice, you know, and you either accept it or you don't call me no more because you don't like what I said.
See,
either way, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest.
About right.
I'm just that friend. I can't tell you what you want to hear. I can't pacify the situation. I gotta be honest with you.
Right,
you know?
Tough love. Right. Exactly. Tough love.
I'm that same friend.
Yeah, you know, gotta be. Shout out to DJ Shuttle. That's right. Tough love. What up, Shuttle?
Oh, that's who that was. Okay.
Yeah, that's what DJ
Yeah.
Team Incredible, baby. You know what I mean? Team Incredible forever. You know what I mean? Sleep in peace. You know what I mean? Black
DJs coming in. Come on, DJs.
You know what I'm saying? Craig, you already know, Shuttle. So I'm just saying, like, let's dive right into it. Well, first and foremost, as I said, we have Lala here now. So Lala, let's just continuing on first before we go into the topic. Yeah, she's ready. Look.
Did she sit up?
Last night, I want to address something that she said last night in the comments that kind of had me and Jacob like, whoa, okay. So you said, and I quote last night in the comments, you said that you have no problem holding the man down if, you know what I'm saying, holding him down and holding things down if he down and out, but only for a moment. And you put moment in caps.
Yeah.
Oh, she had it in cap?
She had it in all caps.
I forgot she had it in all caps.
Point, dot. Like, yeah. I'm like, oh shit. So how what's the time frame on that moment? Like, is it a day?
Wait a second.
Is it an hour? Is it
no.
Is it a minute?
Is it a weekend? Like, what is it? Okay. I'm sorry, Lala.
Go ahead, Lala.
I thought y'all was about to start singing a Smokey Norfolk song. But no, it's not. There's not like a set time frame on it. But I just feel. I mean, I just think that, you know, everybody has, you know, down moments. Let's say you lose a job and it was out of your control. You know, it was beyond your control, right? And, you know, I'm going to hold you down. If, you know, you typically take care of us, I know you're about your business, you know, whatever. I'm going to hold you down. Absolutely. Now, I mean, I'm not talking like 6 months to a year. I mean, if you're actively looking for a job or doing something to better yourself, you looking for work, you're going to find it, right? When you have a family to provide for, you're going to do what you got to do, right? So I just feel like I wouldn't want it to be a situation where it's like, okay, now you got comfortable because I'm holding it down and you feel like, you know,
right.
you just gonna
Okay.
not work anymore, and I'm supposed to be left to handle it all.
Yeah, you got
right.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie, as a man,
I understand that.
Cal know, Lala know, Queen probably know. This has been the hardest time for me right now. Not having a job is crazy, bruh. And I
But guess
literally
what?
got a job and I can't get to it right now.
But guess what? If you had a woman and kids to dependent on you, you would have figured it out by now.
It's a
That's true. That is
my
true.
situation.
You would have. You would have figured it out by now.
My
If you
situation is
No, but listen to what I'm saying.
completely.
I'm not taking a jab. I'm not saying anything
Yeah.
bad. I'm not
I know,
taking a
I know
jab.
you're not.
I'm just
But it's
saying.
not with my situation. It's completely different. It's out of the. I'm in an area right now where there's nothing, and they shutting stuff down. That's what's killing me. Like, what is actually happening? What is going on?
Okay.
And it's completely different. That's been the most frustrating part of even coming back because I already knew what the situation was going to be beforehand.
But it's a little different because you're single, so you don't. That doesn't apply to what we're talking about because you don't have.
No, but I'm
you know
saying,
what I'm saying.
I'm just saying it's
that fire. That fire.
Yeah.
It's much hotter when you got little mouths and eyes.
You right. You right.
And your significant other like looking at you, wanting guidance for the next move. You know, like what's going on. That fire burns 10 times harder. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the dynamic is different. You know,
it's different.
We
right.
What you say.
I agree.
Yeah, we understand what you're saying though, because I mean, just to not have that for anyone is rough. But
I don't think as a man, as a man, we all feel the same fire though, either regardless or not, because this, bruh, this has been horrible, dog. And we talk. Me and Cal talk all the time. Cal knows, bruh. This has been.
It's not.
This is.
But going back to what Lala was saying, as far as like, okay, so you said like you could hold it down, but you're not talking in the sense of like 6 months to a year. Like,
let me say this: it depends on. I can't say what I would never do,
right?
Because it really depends on like our circumstance and our situation, and how well of a Let me say this: not. Some men, have the ability to deal with the children and, whatever, and cook and, whatever. So, I mean, if it's a situation where we get into that situation and it's kind of working for us because maybe like I'm making more money or whatever the case may be, and we kind of get to the point where we're like, okay, this is kind of working for us,
right.
He's managing the house and, whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't say what I would never do, but I mean, my ideal situation is that, like I mean, I'm not a millionaire or something where it's like money doesn't matter. You know what I mean? If I was Oprah, you know what I mean? Like, babe, you don't want to go to work. You don't have to go to work. Like, we good. We straight over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was in that position, then it probably wouldn't matter. But being that most of us are not in that position, I feel like for me, I just don't believe in financing a man, because I feel like when you finance a person, you really don't know if they're there for that or if they're there because they genuinely like you. They genuinely you know what I'm saying, want to be there. There's plenty of people in situations right now, even marriages, where it's just like, this is kind of like, my norm. This is what I've come accustomed to. So I'm going to stick around. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't want nobody to be with me because I'm financing them. So that's just not an option for me.
Situation, I'll be honest with you. This is where you find out the real though. Because
and I know that is when you
people feel like, oh, they can say whatever they want to say to you then. Because you're going through a hard time or whatever the case may be, bruh.
No, but that is when you find out the real. And
yeah, but there's a difference in like going through a hard time and just being like, you know what I mean, whatever. Listen, people get burnt out. You know, you could be going through a period where you're depressed and you know whatever. I'm all about you working on your mental health and you know us. If I love you, you know we gonna figure this out. I'm not saying that I'm like, oh no, I absolutely would not. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying like I wouldn't want to be put in a situation where I'm feeling like, oh, okay, are you here because you getting a free ride or so I've just never done that. And I made another comment yesterday too. And I said, which I know you're going to mention it, right?
Oh yeah, you could go into it. I was leading up to that. But yeah.
And I said that I don't believe, like, I'm not going to pay the rent where a grown man lays his head at. I'm just not going to do that. Right? Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm not going to pay anything. Like, I'll pay the bills. When you add up, like, the bills, when you add up the gas, the electric, the groceries, like, you know how much groceries are? You know what I'm saying? So, it's like, when you add all of those things up, it's like we probably 9 times out of 10 going to be paying, you know, it's going to look like 50-50. But I'm just not going it's gonna be that. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be on a difference only of like a couple of hundred. You know,
but that depends. No, because that depends on where you live, and that depends on what your utilities are. You know what I mean? Like it really depends. Like by the time you pay all of, you know, while you pay all of that, so it's like, you know, by the time you add everything up, and it's like, oh, okay, it's kind of 50-50. So I'm not saying that like I wouldn't pay anything, or I'm not saying that because I don't believe in that. I believe that we both should support the household, right? But my thing, here's my thing to that.
That's all. It's like,
no, I'm not paying the rent. But guess what? Guess what? I also believe though. Yes, I don't believe. I'm not going to pay rent where a grown man lays his head, right? Unless he fall on hard times, and I'm going to hold us down because I know without a shadow of a doubt he's going to hold us down, right? So I would do that. But I'm also in that same breath. I also would never expect, like, I'm not one of those females that like feels like my daughter's dad should pay some of my rent or whatever. Like, I don't believe in that. Like, I'm grown. I have to live, you know what I'm saying? I have to take care of me. Like, my child is just what? Okay, so I have an extra bedroom. Okay, so if we split that and we're like, okay, he's responsible for half of her. You know what I mean? Like, I would never even take any money that I got from my daughter's dad and put it in my house. Any money that he has ever sent me, which he's not on child support. I've never taken him for child support or nothing like that. It's something that I feel like it should be voluntary. Like, if you know you have a child to take care of. Now, I do know that I can call him for anything. If I called him right now and said, listen, I need $300, like, he's going to make it happen. He's, you know, whatever. And he takes care of his daughter. He buys her clothes. He buys her shoes, whatever, you know, whatever. But I would never, anytime he sends me money, it gets spent on his daughter. Like, I also don't feel like the other parent should be responsible for paying rent in your house. So I'm not just one-sided.
Not like, you don't live here, you don't stay here. You ain't responsible.
Right. But I'm just saying, because some people feel like I think I said that to somebody else before, and they was like, oh, but it's okay for, you know, you say you wouldn't pay for a grown man's rent or whatever the case may be, you know, but I bet you think it's okay for your baby's dad to send you child support and pay your rent, you know what I mean, or pay a portion of your rent. And I'm like, no, absolutely not.
Child support, it says it right in
it's supposed to be for the child. Yeah.
Child support. It ain't baby mama support. It ain't rent support. It ain't go to the club with the girl support. You know what I'm saying? It is for the child.
Now, I mean, it is for the child. And I mean, it takes money to raise a child. So I'm not going to say that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say that. I'm just saying I have too much pride to ever take any money that my daughter's dad would send and put it on my rent. Now, would I be wrong if I did that? Absolutely not, because
that's
my child lives here. They have an extra bedroom. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for them, I could have me a little 1-bedroom. You know what I mean? But they're not responsible for paying for their child's portion of whatever here. We supposed to split that in half. You know what I mean? So I just mentioned that so that nobody doesn't think that like I'm not just you know, a gold digger out here or whatever the case may be. I just feel like, you know, a grown man, you know, it has to make his way, whether he, you know, even if you know, whatever, like, you're responsible for yourself. So whether I was here or not, you would have to provide for yourself, right? And I think for me, it's just my mom just didn't raise me like that. And I think for me, being like plus size or whatever, I just never want to, you hear all the jokes about like, oh, she's a big girl, she's probably taking care of him, whatever. Or you see a picture of like, a big girl and a guy, and they're like, oh, it must be tax time and whatever. So like, I just never want to feel like anybody is ever around for a financial, whatever. So that's my take on it.
Okay. No, well, we respect that. We respect that in the cave, and no one wants to feel like they're being taken advantage of or being taken for a free ride. So that's definitely not the case. Like you said, if there's going to be a situation where that's going to happen, there's going to be a situation where we got history, and I already know the type of person you are. And
Absolutely.
I know that, this is something you fell on the hard times. I care for you.
Absolutely.
We're going to hold each other down, and we're going to get past the hurdle, and we're going to get back on track. You know what I'm saying? Not nothing to where it's going to be, oh yeah, I'm your come up or you my come up, because it actually goes both ways too, where you have a lot of women out there that's looking for a come up. They're not looking for a man just for love, or like love is not in the top 3. Love is like 4, 5, 6. You know what I'm saying? They looking for a man to pay their bills, to pay their rent, to take care of their kids that they got, you know what I'm saying, to someone else or whatever, or to get their credit score together, you know what I'm saying, and take care of their debt, their student loans. And then if you all that, then I will love you. You know what I'm saying?
That's like, a whole nother.
That's all right, but it's out there. It's like Lala addressed it, on the female side. You know what I'm saying? I'm addressing it on the male side. It goes both ways. Now there's different motives, but it's all the same. It's all the same. All the same foundation or whatever. So you got to be aware of those things, and aware of those things when you enter these relationships, which actually brings us to the topic of tonight. Show ignoring the red flags and still choosing to stay in that relationship. Because a lot of times it's people, we see these things early before it blows up, before it gets major. Yep. We see these things early, but we ignore them because a lot of times we feel like, even 2 things we feel. We feel like, it ain't that big of a deal. Maybe I'm making it more than what it is. Or we feel like, I'm different. I could change that about them. Both of those reasons are completely wrong
and crazy.
Absolutely.
That's how it grows into something
crazy too.
Way more. So
I wanted to say something. No, male or female, right, should never solely depend on the other person. You should never solely depend on a person for, your living situation, whatever. Because then what happens when, it goes left? And then now if you've solely been dependent on this other person, now what do? You know what I mean? This is why you see people getting put out and, situations go as left as they do, because it's like, okay, now you're going to put me out. Now, my pride is in the way, whatever, now the situation is going to get blown way out of proportion. Whereas if I had my stuff together too, it'd be like, all right, cool. I ain't sweating it. Cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that's where like a lot of situations like really escalate out of control. And then to bring in what you're saying, like about the red flags and stuff, you have people, for me, I feel like if you put me out of your house, you will never have that opportunity to do that again. So like, there's no way I'm ever going to come back and stay with you, bring my stuff back over, none of that stuff. I would never do that. You know what I mean? So it's like people, but then you notice you have these people who every time they get into it, the other person gets kicked out, and they've been kicked out like 10, 15 times. And it's like,
exactly.
I never even thought about that till you just said that. I've been in that situation, and it's true. That is absolutely true. Because the last time I was literally in the house with my wife was when she put me out the crib. That is wow. I never even thought about that. That is so real. Yeah. I ain't never even thought about that till you just said that.
I'm a man. I'm a man of certain principles, and I'm a man of certain beliefs. If an argument gets us to the point where a disagreement, something we're not disagreeing, we're not seeing eye to eye on, and it gets you to the point where you got to tell me get out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna have a different taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you may not see me back
Wow.
I'm not coming back that night. Let me say that.
I never even thought about that.
You kick me out. Don't call my phone asking me where am I. Don't call my phone saying when you coming back home.
Yeah.
Because you put me out. So don't do that, because you're not gonna like my response. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it came to that point where you telling me get out, I don't want you here, I don't care where you go, all this stuff out of anger, keep that same energy when you calling my phone, because I'm gonna tell you, why do you care now? Don't worry about where I'm at or whatever. You could.
I don't believe in the whole kicking out situation.
Yeah,
like I don't believe it ever. I don't believe that it should ever really get to that point. I mean, unless it's like physical or something like that, then it's like, okay, you gotta leave because you in here tearing my house up, or you know what I mean, you in here putting your hands on me. That's one thing or whatever. But it's just like, y'all need to get to some space. Like, you need to leave right now. Like, you need to clear your head, whatever the case may be. But the whole like kicking out and stuff like that, like I said, I feel like you kicked me out, you will never kick me out again, because I will never come back and give you the opportunity to do that. We might still be able to date or whatever, you know what I mean, whatever the case may be, but it's only a matter of time before even that is going to break down, because I'm going to remember back to to that, and I would never give you the opportunity to do that again. Like, it should never get to that point, especially with the way things are going now. Like, you getting kicked out. I remember, like my homeboy, he calls me his aunt because he used to date my niece. But, my nieces and nephews are all like just a few years behind me because I'm the baby. So him and his girl got into it real bad. And I mean, she like called the cops. She kicked them out. She called the cops. She came to where he was at and to his friend's house. He was like, I was just, cooling off, giving us some space, whatever the case may be. She came over there. She tried to like hit him with the car, all kind of stuff. And she called the cops on him, in the most like racist town that there is around here. She called the cops, and it's like he could have lost his life that night. You know what I mean? With everything that's going on, he had been drinking and, all of that, like, because he had planned on being in the house the rest of the night. And now it's like, now he's out, he's involved with the police and stuff. And it's like, that could have cost him his life. Like, it's never that serious. And what they were arguing about, like, wasn't even that serious for it to have, gone that far.
Now, see, that's another thing right there. You just calling the cops. Now, as a black man in America,
that's a whole nother
animal.
Yeah.
That you just started. You call the cops on me.
Wow.
Just delete my number. I will come get my clothes.
Facts.
I might not even want them. I might just go buy new clothes. Everything in that house of mine, because we're done completely. Yeah. Like, it gets to the point where you calling the cops on a man. Like,
that's a whole nother can, bro. I ain't never even thought about that one.
But that goes back to not paying attention. That goes back to not paying attention to red flags, because these are things that you should notice about a person. Like, if you've spent enough time with the person, you know what I'm saying? That's why I say, like, today, like, now we have these, like, microwave situationships, relationships, whatever. It's like, we meet, we hang out, we end up sleeping together, and now we just by default in this relationship, whatever, you spend a night and never go home, whatever type. And now y'all a couple, and now you're facing the smallest amount, the smallest issue that arises is like a huge battle, a huge war for y'all, because you really don't know each other. So you don't even know how this person is when they get upset. You don't know how to talk them off the ledge. You don't know any of that, because you guys haven't taken the time to like really get to know each other.
That's right, exactly. And that's what we was talking about yesterday too. When you first get in a relationship and you first meeting a person, you're not really truly meeting that person. You're meeting their
representative. Yep.
Being their representative.
Sometimes, not all the time.
Well, I'm not. I never all situations, but
not all the time. But you definitely have to take the time to see that person in every season.
Right. Even a nice person that may be giving you part.
She just said
things that you still have to learn about that person to decide if it meshes right with you. Like, you could be sweet, kind, loving, and we just good together, but we still need to take the time to get to know the other side.
Because it's different. I agree.
Those other ways, those other things, those flaws, because we all have them.
When them hard times hit, you so right about that.
Take that time to see if we mesh. A lot of people don't take that time, and then you find yourself in a situation where you had your first real argument and you got the it's like,
and now it's too late because you've been ignoring it or not, seeing that, and now it's like now y'all telling each other you love each other, and now you feel obligated, whatever the case may be, or now you've told everybody about this person, and you don't want to, it's like
you want to still be nice. You feel bad because you're like, oh well, I don't want to leave, or I don't want to this because I got time invested in. They are a good person. Maybe they didn't do this. Now you're giving them excuses.
Yep.
You're giving them excuses for the wrong that they did.
Yep. Absolutely. And if that's where it starts, it stays like that.
Yep. Ignoring the flags, and then you ignore the red flags first. Then you start to give the red flags excuses. Now you're putting a Band-Aid over the red flag.
Yeah.
Until that Band-Aid falls off and red flag pops back up again.
But now you hate everybody for it because, what I noticed, and I'm not just going to say the men, I don't male bash, so I'm not just going to say the men. I'll say people will, get on Facebook and, they're like, all, women or men are, this, and this, and it's like, no, that's just the people that you choose to entertain. Like, that's the people that you choose to, say the people that you entertain, say the women that you entertain or the men that you entertain. You can't really speak for all men or all women when you don't know all men or all women. And half the people that say that have never even traveled, never lived anywhere else. They just stuck in their little small town, whatever. And it's like, okay, because you don't know how to pick them, or you don't know enough about yourself to choose differently, or realize that you're attracted to this certain type, or this certain type is attracted to you, whatever. Because there's some people out there who they end up being with whoever is attracted to them. It's like, oh, okay, this person likes me, so I'm going to talk to them because they like me. And it's like, they don't really realize, like, okay, but what do you like? What is it?
That's fact.
What do you like? Because that goes back to that saying, and I heard this so many times, and you gotta love who love you. No, I don't.
No. I mean, to an extent. Let me say this: to an extent,
I do not have to love who love me, because the person who loves me is not for me.
Right, but here's the thing with that, right?
Okay.
Sometimes some people get so caught up in a type that they have, or whatever that they have, and it's like, okay, but those people aren't capable of loving you the way that you need love. That's why you keep on, whatever. I'm speaking from experience. Right? So it's like when it's like, okay, I'll say myself, okay? I had to get to the point where, which is why I'm single now, and I'm like, you know what? It's something about me. It's me. It's my behavior that keeps me in these, situations or whatever. And it's like, I think, sometimes there could be, no, you don't have to just like somebody because they like you. Like, I don't do that. But I'm just saying, like, sometimes, when it comes to that, you have to get out of your own way and maybe do something a little different than what you would normally do, because maybe that person could genuinely love you. Maybe they have everything that you're looking for,
right.
So I wouldn't say necessarily love who loves you, but I think that when it comes to, I was trying to think of, somebody had made a post on Facebook, and it was basically like their dad told them to, fall in love with a person who loves them more than, basically saying, if I was talking to you, Cal, I would say, if I'm the dad, this is basically what he was saying, right? He was saying like, Cal, fall in love with somebody who genuinely loves you more than you love them, because them loving you the way that you need to be loved will naturally cause you to love them more. You know what I'm saying? But when you're thinking about yourself here, you're like, it's okay. Okay, so instead of me, loving somebody and feeling like, my love is enough for the both of us. You know what I'm saying? My love is going to get us through. This is a person who's emotionally unavailable, or whatever the case may be. A person that might not really be capable of loving me the way that I know I need to be loved. But I'm like, I love them so much that, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's what the dad was trying to say. Like, fall in love with somebody who loves you a little more than you love them. You know what I mean? Because then you won't be chasing that person for the love that you need, and naturally them loving you the way that you need to be loved, and you being able to, see that, will cause you to love them more, or whatever is what he was saying. And I think I agree with that. I do agree with that to an extent. And I'm not just saying go out there loving anybody that loves you or say they love you. That's not what I'm saying. But I think we have to get out of our own way sometime.
You do. You gotta think outside the box. I mean, sometimes you gotta step out of your comfort zone and do something different. Especially when your quote unquote type isn't working. Like, a lot of times, like you said, we get caught up in that. Oh, that's not my type. He's not my type. She's not my type. That's not the type of person I go for. Well, maybe you need to take a step back and reflect and look at yourself and see
what your type
is. You can't. It comes to, you get to a certain point in your life where you can't just go after what you want. You have to go after what you need.
Absolutely.
But first, to actually go after what you need, you have to recognize and know what you need. Not what society tells you, not what your homegirl tells you, not what your mother or your father tells you, because what's good for them may not be good for you. And 9 times out of 10 it's not, because we're all different, we're all individuals. So,
but that comes with experience.
It does. You got to see past representative too.
Life to find out, because a lot of times we get caught up in what we think is our type, and it really isn't. It really isn't, and it never was from the beginning. I mean, like, love shouldn't be hard. It shouldn't be hard.
It should not be hard.
Right. If it's always something going on and y'all always arguing, always beefing, always this, you need to y'all need to go your separate ways, really figure out what's good for you and what's good for the other person, because love, when it's true love and when it's a real connection,
you're gonna know it.
It's Sunday morning.
Yeah, everything's gonna be a small thing to a giant. Like when you know,
it ain't hard. If you got something, that's how we love. We got that hard love. We got that crazy love. Nah, you got something that's not good for you that you're trying to force. You need to get away from it fast before it turns into something.
Absolutely. We have some comments.
Somebody could get hurt in that.
What'd you say, Jacob?
I said somebody could get hurt in that for real.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's even like,
not even just physically, could be mentally.
Yeah, that's even like with the representative. I was saying a lot of people send their representative beforehand, and you don't see the true side of them until a situation happens or a problem comes up, and then the real comes out. It's like, whoa, where this person come from? Like they're a completely different person. I'm speaking from experience because I didn't see
it. But some people don't know. Like some people really don't know that they are, that they're presenting their representative. Because I was talking to somebody that I know, and she was telling me about how she was going on a date with this guy and whatever, and how she feels like a different person when she's around him. And I was like, because you probably are a different person when you're around him. And she's like, I never really thought about it like that. So once she started, once she paid attention to that and she made like an honest effort to like just be herself and not be so on guard and whatever, they didn't even click anymore. You know what I mean? Like, he legit told her, like, you seem like a different person. You know what I mean? Yeah. And she was just like, she, of course, she didn't tell him, like, well, I realized that I was like putting on this huge front for you, and that's why. You know what I mean? But it was like a conversation that we had, and she was like, yeah, I'm glad that like I realized that, because the type of woman that like he like would want me to be, and the type of like I wouldn't want to be on guard like that all the time. So some people don't know.
Because she started being true to herself. She started being true to herself, and a lot of times we're not honest with ourselves, or even not honest with ourselves, or even address the things that we don't like.
That's a whole nother conversation right there, bro.
Sometimes a lot of people are scared. They think they're gonna scare the person off, or they're gonna cause problems in the relationship. So, I'm not gonna tell him that,
that's that representative.
To be sometimes, and maybe the word things differently because he might just leave me. No, sit down and have a grown at the end of the day, and I said this last night, at the end of the day, we're grown. We're all grown. We're grown ass. This is not junior high school. This is not elementary school. This is not, check the box if you like me, yes or no. We're grown. Right. And grown people do grown things. Have that grown.
And you either you gonna like it or you're not. And if you're not, then there's no need in us wasting our time, because I'm gonna be me and you're gonna be you. But I think that the way that society is now, it's like they make it, they make it seem like, you have to be somebody that you're not. You got everybody trying to keep up with the Joneses, and the Joneses is however many months behind on their mortgage, and you don't even know it because they just out here flashing and flaunting and whatever. So it's like you like the idea of
that's pretty much what Ram just said.
The way that they, you know what I mean? So it's like, even with like relationships and stuff like that, it's like, okay, this is what everybody's doing. They, they dating for a few weeks, and now they taking trips, and their relationship goals and all of that. And it's like people get so caught up in that. And then it's like those same people probably argue on the plane, fighting in the Lyft on the way. Because listen, when I used to drive Lyft, oh man, them couples that would argue, they didn't care that I heard them arguing, no nothing. They would be in the backseat, smacking each other and all kinds of stuff, like, but they would get out, they would be relationship goals and stuff. And I think that, like I said last night, I think I had commented on last night's show, and I was saying, like, you have to be yourself from jump, like, and you cannot bend on your non-negotiables. Like, I don't care how much you think this person looks good, or they look good on paper, or you think, oh wow, we can do this, or our relationship can be like that, we can have this. It's like, if that person, if they check off one of your non-negotiables, then you can't bend on that. You absolutely can't bend on that, because somebody down the line is not going to be happy.
I agree.
You got to stand firm in your standards, and everybody should have standards. And okay, well, I see we have some more comments going on.
Yeah, Remy going in the comments right now.
Well, shout out to Herbie. You know what I'm saying?
That's my boy right there.
What we saying? Miss Gail, shout out to Miss Gail. She said she agreed with us. And Rennie, he said, but if we're going to talk about relationships, how is the relationship going to be a tight ship if we can't be true and upfront? Nobody likes surprises, and behind closed doors, they could be like Ike and Tina. You never know.
Yeah,
and that's true. And that's very
that
true.
representative.
Same thing I was just saying. Yep.
Yeah.
Like,
and I didn't even see that comment because I can't see those comments. The comments that I can see are Facebook. So
like I said, you would never know until hard times hit.
You wouldn't know.
You gonna see that.
But sometimes the hard times are not even hard times. It's literally like because of these little popcorn situations and whatever.
No,
it's like the smallest thing. It could be like, oh, why did you put that over there? Now it's like we fighting.
I'm talking about the real hard times. Like when you hit them real hard times, everything that's been wanting to be said will be said. It's gonna come out of nowhere.
It depends on the person, because like I told you last night, I don't argue. I don't hit below the belt, and not because I feel like I'm perfect or anything like that. But one, I wasn't raised that way, and two, I don't have the energy for that. I just don't have the energy for that.
It's wasted energy and wasted time, and you got to remember what you put out there, you can't take back. So you put it out there while you're angry, and you know what I'm saying, you can't take it back now that we all good. And I know my mother used to say all the time, listen to a person when they're mad and they're angry, the things they say to you.
That's true.
Yep. A lot of time those are things they mean they've been wanting to say, and they held it in, and now that
they've been wanting to say this for a minute.
Pay close attention to a person when they're upset and mad and saying things too.
Yeah, because that's how they truly feel.
Right, you can't take.
That's how they truly feel. Listen. I told my ex, I said, I would be a fool to not believe that this is how you feel about me when every time you get upset, you say the same stuff. And you say the most hurtful things. Like I mean, it's not like it happened one time or two times. It's like every single time you get mad. No, but I just be mad. And it's like, okay, so you need to get you some coping skills. Like you need to figure that out, because you can't just say what you want to say to people and then expect me to just be like okay with it and not remember that you said those things. Then it's like, it's a mistake. You make a mistake, you say it one time. Okay, I mean, I'm still gonna feel some type of way that you said it, but if you continue to say it, it's no longer a mistake. That's really how you feel.
How you really feel.
And there's no coming back from that. But you know what? Even in that, like you said, not paying attention to the red flags, some people still stay in those situations, even though you have now clicked it in your mind. Right. Okay, this is how this person really feels about me.
That's right. Yep. That's right. Yep. Oh, Rennie going in.
Remy said he said it.
Another one. He said, "This is the advice I give people. If you want to see who's true and with you, go through something.
Yeah,
you'll know who's there for a reason and who's there for a season." That's exactly what we was talking about.
When you down
and what we was talking about.
When you down on it,
you know who's really in your corner and who's really not.
They gonna tell you.
That's the true moment. That's the true. Oh, that's the true test right there.
That's when they. That's when they hit you with them sucker punches, like dude, and your breath stank. Right there. Like, why you gotta say that?
Don't ignore it. Don't
For real, that part.
That's when you can. That's when you make the firm decision. Are you willing to stay?
Say that for a minute, bro.
Or do we need to part ways?
Yeah.
Hey.
That's always hard though, because it depends on the circumstances nowadays. Right. That's why I say, like, I don't never want nobody to feel like they got to be around because they got to be around. I never want to be tolerated. I've never been with a man who has just tolerated me, and I've never had that. So like, that's why I say, like, I'm not willing to settle when it comes to that. Like I can't just feel like somebody's just around me, like just because. Yeah, like no. And when you don't, and when it's like that, it's like, okay, you don't have to be here. But when you don't have another choice, and you kind of do have to be here, that's what makes matters worse, because now we're both miserable, but you're still here, and we're just going to continue to be miserable. We'll be good for a little bit, but because we're miserable, the smallest thing that happens, we're going to be back at it again. Like, I don't have energy for that. I don't have energy for that.
I don't. And see,
I don't.
I definitely don't have the energy for that. I really don't. And like you said, you can't take it back. So you got.
You can't.
You can't. It's out there. And
somebody told me I'm toxic because I said I've never been broken up with. I'm always the one that leaves. And they said I'm toxic because of that. And I'm like, nah, I stick around as long as I can because I am one of those people, or I have been. Let me say, I have been in the past one of those people that's like, you know, my love is healing. Like all I gotta do is love you right, and you know, show you that you deserve this love that I have to give, and you just gonna vibrate on a whole nother level. And see, it doesn't happen like that because you can love somebody and believe in them, and you know, whatever. And if they don't have those feelings themselves and they're insecure or they weren't loved that way and they don't know how to accept that love or it's too good to be true, then they're not ever going to be able to accept that. So I had to learn, you know what I'm saying? I had to learn to stop doing that.
When someone say, I've learned, when someone say, this is too good to be true.
It probably is.
That's because
no, it's not. See, no, you're not joking. No, you're not joking. You meant that.
I was joking. I didn't.
No, you're not joking. You meant that. You know why you meant that? No, you know why you meant that? You meant that. You meant that because you haven't had anybody to really show you that.
I've been.
You haven't had nobody to show you that.
I've honestly been there. The reason
you've been where?
Right now I am.
Oh, he don't pause.
Personal thing. See, we go into it. Let's go into it.
Let's go in. Let's go.
It's a personal thing for me, honestly, for real. Because
no, but that's not what we were talking about.
No, we're talking about the.
But that's not what we were talking about. You said when it's too good, when it seems like it's too good to. He said when people honestly, feel like it's too good to be true. You said that's because it is, and I said that is not necessarily. Yeah. That's not necessarily true. Sometimes it's that you can't believe that you know this person exists or you know whatever they really are real or whatever.
I don't do that though. See, I don't do that. See,
now, and he wasn't talking about you.
I didn't say that.
Now hold on. Let me respond. This is
what we talking about me now.
Right, but listen, let me respond on that. Now that this is where I was going with it, with what I was saying. I found. In my experience, when someone say that this is too good to be true, oh no, you really can't be like this, or something gotta be there. I found that a lot of times that doesn't have anything to do with you. That has to do with that person inside.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Something internal in them, some insecurities or something they going through that they haven't totally fixed or healed from, to why they can't accept how good you are to them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And a lot of times people take that like how Jacob did. Oh, not because it is. No, it's not that it is. It's that you haven't completely healed from something in your past, present, or something you going through at the time. And so you can't fully accept the greatness that's coming to you.
That's coming.
You know what I'm saying? You doubting it because that's what you mentally train yourself to do as a protection mechanism. You know what I'm saying? So you doubting it, but in the same vein, you can accept when something wrong happens and you like, oh well.
I will say.
No, hold on. That means
we gonna go there.
Yeah, but hold on. I'm almost done. You can accept when something bad happens and you give it the reason as far as, oh well, that must have not been meant for me, or there's something better for me. You could accept the badness. But you can't accept that goodness that's coming your way because you ain't fully healed from something.
But not only that, you might not be fully healed from it. That's absolutely true. That's 9 times out of 10 what it is. But the other part of getting to that healing, is holding yourself accountable for what you did. Like right there. You can't say like, oh, he put me through all of this, she put me through all of this, she did this, she did that. When you one ignored the red flags. When you two stuck around and you didn't feel like you deserve better. And see, that was my thing. Like, I know my worth. I know my worth. Absolutely. I know what I bring to the table. However, I was putting their feelings in front of mine. And that meant that I did not love myself enough to not do that. Right. So I had to go back and I had to be accountable and I had to be like, okay, no matter how much of a monster this person was or what they did to me being accountable for allowing it to happen and continuing to stay doesn't take away from what they did and the work that they have to do. And so sometimes we go back, we can't really fully heal from a situation and see, you know, a situation differently going forward because we haven't done that piece of it.
Yeah.
It's a little, yeah.
That's a fact. That is a fact. It took me a while to learn that. It took me a while to learn that it's easy for you to see the wrong that person did to you, but to you to reflect on your wrong and you not recognizing your worth,
what you did, yeah,
allowing these things to happen and not standing firm on your own and saying, "Look, I'm not going for this. This is not what it is." You know what I'm saying? Not standing firm.
So okay, since we doing this,
hold on, wait. Let me say this. I can see the comments. I see now. I had to move over, right? I can see the comments.
Real, don't you do it.
The problem is we have to remember the 3 words. Know your worth. Remember, exes are examples of what we should not be with. Absolutely, or behavior that we shouldn't repeat. And then he said, Gator, don't make me get my mic.
See, Real know me. But this is my deal. And it's probably, since we finna go here, we gonna go here.
Go there.
We can go here.
Let's go.
It's probably a shield.
I said that.
I'll personally say this, and I've never said this before. Yeah. Long as we didn't know, I ain't never brought this up.
Go ahead.
There's a shield. I won't lie about it. There's a shield because of what I've been through.
But you're not protecting yourself. You're holding yourself back.
I believe that. Right. But I'll tell you like this, and I don't think nobody else will tell you this. Mm-hmm. I don't care because I want to shield myself personally. Honestly, since we go walk here,
let's go.
I got to do this because, for one, for some odd reason, it seems you keep walking into the same brick wall. Don't know what it is. Try to understand it, try to break things down and figure out what the issue is. And every time you turn around is boom, you hitting the wall again. And it's over and over again. That's been my issue. I'll be honest and say that's what it is.
Okay.
Honestly, a lot of people, Remy, one of them, a lot of people ask me all the time, yo, why you been by yourself for so long? I ain't trying to go through that no more. It's a personal shield that I got up right now. Right. I've been in situations where, and I could go through all kind of different situations. We in the man cave. I've been there. We've talked about it.
Yeah.
We've talked about it in the cave, the different situations I done been through. I got a shield up right now. Personally.
Yeah, but hold on, but really? There's a difference between a personal shield and a personal choice, right? Because you are personally choosing to be single right now, right? That's what you said. Yeah. You're personally choosing to be single right now. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you personally have a shield up. Like, those are 2 different things.
No.
So either you have a shield up to protect yourself, or
no. There's a shield.
Deciding to stay single because of your own personal reasons.
Me and my brother talked about this not even 3 days ago. Honestly, we talked about this, and he pointed it out to me, and I was like, "Dang, you're right." Because every single time he's like, "Dude," even when I was in the A, he was like, "Man," and he was around. Every single time you were approached by somebody, you block it. He said, "Why? Why did you do that?" And don't say, and he caught me because he's my brother. He know me. Mm-hmm. He said, don't say it's because your situation you was going through, because you've been in different situations. And I seen you in them, even when you was doing. Mm-hmm. And he was like, you did the same thing. Does that have anything? He brought up my marriage. Does that have anything to do with your marriage? I'm be honest. There's some stuff I learned being married that you would never learn being single and in a relationship ever. I don't care how long you've been together. You'll never know it because at first it feels like I got you. They let their shields down. And you see the raw. I've been, bruh, We can talk about this at a later time because I'm gonna need counseling after this.
No, and I'm gonna respond to that because I personally can give you advice on that because I've been where you are now. I've been where you was, and I'm now where you can be. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I feel you.
What I'm telling you is that you gotta trust the process, brother. You gotta let the shield down and trust the process because the shield goes up automatically as a protection after you go through that storm. It protects you as it should. But if you don't let that shield down, it's gonna hinder you and it's gonna stop your growth.
I agree.
It's gonna stop.
And that's what I was saying.
The issue.
It's two different things to say like, hey, I have my shield up because I've been hurt and I'm protecting myself. That's one thing, right?
Yes.
It's another thing to say, I don't have a shield up because I'm healed from those things that I've been through and I'm ready to move forward. However, because of my own personal reasons, I'm deciding to be single right now. Those are two different things.
That's what I've been saying for the longest until recently when I had this conversation. It's funny we talking about it right now. I had this conversation with a personal friend of mine, and he said that ain't it, and he broke it. Like, it's different when talking to people, and then you talk to somebody face to face, and he broke it down to me, and I said, "Dang, you right."
Yeah, so I get it
because I ain't never thought about it
like that. He's saying la la, and I get what he said la la. What he's saying is, for a long time, he kept saying it was his choice to be single, and he was making the choice himself to be single because of his situation and because of this and that. But recently, he just had an epiphany. The light bulb just went off.
And I'm gonna tell you this:
he just realized all this time he thought
that it was his shield up.
And I'm gonna be honest.
I got that. But when I said that, he said, and I don't care. So I'm just kind of a little confused on like, okay, if you don't care that, you know what I'm saying, you got the shield up, like that, and like, and I don't care.
But
so
I'll be vulnerable with you
from here.
And I'll tell you something that people that have
people
that do this and have done it, because I never realized I was doing it until my brother pointed it out to me. And it's not easy to pull it down. Even when it's been pointed out to you, I still catch myself doing it.
And that's
like
natural.
It's
okay, look,
natural.
It's been a few times where
that's natural, that's fine, but if
you don't notice it. Because I didn't even notice it until it was pointed out to me. I ain't even paid attention to it.
I'm gonna say
you say that, but listen, you say that, but that's because you haven't been paying attention, because we've been talking about this for about 2 years, and I told you, and I know
you know
what I'm saying? I told you before, listen, it's one thing to understand your situation and where you were at and what you can and what you cannot do in a relationship. However, don't let that stop you. I've been told you, don't let your situation stop you from meeting people and making friends, because you never know, a friendship could turn into something more. And maybe, by now that you guys are friends and your situation turns around, whatever the case may be, now you guys have that foundation of a friendship, and you've seen each other as friends, and could, that's something that you could build on. I've been telling you that a long time. So just say that you didn't want to hear it. Say that.
Thank you. Stop giving excuses. Stop giving it excuses. Because
I do have selective hearing.
Understand,
I say
it's
that.
not easy, but if you don't ever start the process, it's going to continue to remain the same.
Absolutely.
This is now this ain't for everybody, and this ain't everybody's situation. And y'all know I'm transparent like a mug. I'll be real with you.
Yes.
When you do that, and it happens again, and it happens again.
Why does it keep happening though?
Again.
You know
because
what?
I'll be honest with you.
It's probably
because of choices.
It is not probably.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's not.
But at the same time,
not probably.
At the same time, though, the choices that you make kind of depend on your situation that you're in. That's my personal view.
It depends on your mindset.
Yeah, that's true. And I've talked about. The funny thing is, it's easy for me to talk about when I'm on the other side of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So what you got to do
now that I'm graved into that. And I've been doing this for how long? Shoot, sex battle's been around forever. But now that I'm into this, it's kind of it's blurry. I'll say it like that. It's blurry.
Okay, look.
Because I see it differently.
Okay.
At the same time, it's still like fogged up, if you understand what I'm saying.
Right. Listen, we need to talk. We need to talk after the show. We need to set up some life coach sessions with you. Yeah, you can be my client.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
I'll extend my services to you.
I'm a co-counsel with you. You know,
until I came back here and had to.
Because I've been telling.
No. I'll tell you like this, Cal.
Everything that he been through, Lala. And I'm very transparent too. The world knows my story, and I shared it live before. And that's just me, because my situation can help someone else heal. I'm firm and confident in my own.
Yeah, real. You have been saying trust the process forever.
I've been where this man is at. I've been where he's at. Like
it's not easy, bro.
Every situation that he's been in, I've been in.
This ain't
but look
easy,
at where you at now, though.
And that's my point. The way I'm trying to tell him.
What I'm saying is,
but you gotta take those steps to do so. I've been where you at, so I'm not. I may be a little more tougher with my words, or a little more firm, only because, brother.
Okay. Can we go back to another show?
Of that.
Can we go to another show?
I didn't know Miss Mac was in here.
Where I was explaining, far as work-wise situations and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
This has a lot to do with it, to me opening my eyes, because, and Lala didn't heard me say this, when I ain't in the situation that I want to be in as far as work and this and that and this, I don't put myself out there like that.
Right.
I'm still the same way, and I feel a certain way about it when I do. I've been trying. You'll be proud of me, because I have been trying. At the same time, you feel a way.
Of course.
And I don't know if it's a man thing, or I don't know what it is. I just.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna say it's a person thing, because you have women out there that will feel the same way too. I'm not just gonna say it's a man thing. It's a person thing. It's a person that has.
Yeah, but it's different. It's different from men,
that has morals. You know what I'm saying? It's normal, but what you got to do, you have to understand. You may not be able to do what you want to do because of your financial situation, but that does mean you can't. That does not mean you cannot do nothing, because doing nothing is being stagnated. And when you're stagnated, you're not moving. When you're not moving, you're not growing. When you're not growing, something is wrong. And something needs to change.
Your mindset needs completely reprogrammed.
Yeah, you got to reprogram it all. You cannot keep saying, I can't because of this. I can't because of that. Because your words become...
It's hard to grow out of that, though.
There you go again. There you go.
No. If we gonna be real, can I be? If we gonna be real, let me be real.
Your words, Jacob. Your words become you.
No, but what I'm saying, I'm not saying it's hard to do. What I'm saying is, when you've been in this cycle for so long, where I was at, mindset or whatever, it's hard to come out of it.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying.
But it's time to break
easy,
it.
Little by little, I am.
It's time to break it.
I ain't
once you have that
gonna be like, hey, I'm here.
That's it. It's
but
time
I'm working on it though. I'm definitely working on it for real.
Listen, we gotta talk about this. We're gonna save this for your personal session because
there you go. That's right.
This is so much deeper. It's so much deeper, and I ain't gonna grind you up on here in front of our guests, in front of company.
I ain't got nothing to hide. I don't hide nothing.
Forward to the show. The next one of the shows in the future is going to be called Counseling DJ Favor. And that's going to be the whole show. We're going to give you your counseling session.
Coaching favor.
Hey,
coaching favor.
Look in the comments.
Yeah.
Because real right. Everybody been saying the same thing. But it's hard.
I've been preaching that. Trust the process.
You in
Trust the process. Trust
That's what Rennie Ren said. Am I saying it right?
He says that all the time.
Rennie Ren?
Trust the process.
He said it right.
It's just hell yeah.
Trust the process.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
All it does.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. We're about to mute your mic. And we're gonna talk about
we're gonna give you a little time out. Hold on. Let's give him a little time out.
Yes, he needs a time out.
You get a little time out. You get a little time out.
He's still talking. Look at him. He's still talking.
You get him a little time out. Nobody hears you, brother. We get you a little time out. You need to go in the corner. Go in the corner for a second. Yeah, just take woosah, guys.
In through your nose, out through your mouth.
Yeah. In, out, namne renge kyo. Come on, man. Let's get that, man. Woo! Goddamn, boy. Yeah, we gonna do a counseling session on that, man.
We're gonna have to tag team him, Cal.
We are. We're gonna do that, Lala. We definitely. I'm gonna need you here for that because he's gonna need a woman's point of view, a man's point of view. We're gonna make it happen, though. We're gonna make it happen.
We got it.
Yeah. So, but you know what? All that did surround around ignoring the red flags and ignoring things because he ignored a lot of things that he should have addressed. So it's still tied into
within himself. Right.
Ooh, that right there. Right there. Because if you ignore the things in yourself, how could you be great in a relationship or anything else?
Or know what to pay attention to, know what red flags you should be looking for.
There you go.
You know?
It explains a lot. I love it. Look, now, we also had, before because I know we over an hour right now, but we can't end the show without addressing one of our fans and listeners had a concern that they wanted us to talk about and they wanted our advice. I know I'm sorry, Miss White. The listener is a female, Miss White. We took a little while to address it because we got tied up, into DJ's favor and his issues he got going on. His shenanigans. Sorry about that, Miss White, but we're gonna get right to it. Miss White wanted to know. She said she sent the email to the show, and she stated that she had. Oh, I'm sorry, DJ Favor. I'll mute you now, brother. But let us get to the topic. All right, we don't want to hear no more about your personal shenanigans. Okay, so. Yes, our fan, Miss White, she wants to know. She said that her best friend, who I'm assuming is a male, said to her that she needs to be more submissive. Okay, so she wants to know, what does it mean to a man for a woman to be submissive?
I mean, she's asking for a man's point of view. So
you, Cal, go ahead.
I'll leave that up to you, but I can give you my
friend. I don't know if a friend is a male or female. I assumed he was because of the question, but it could be a woman because when you got a real friend, they're gonna let you know, like, yo, you need to do this, you need to do that. But she said her best friend told her that she needs to be submissive. So she's
for me
now. I know, Miss White is a very strong woman, very independent. Okay. This is everything that she said in the email to the show. She's a very strong woman, very independent, hold her own, hold it down, do what she needs to do or whatever, very strong. So she wants to know, what does it mean for a woman to be submissive? And I'll take the lead on this. And I want to say, like, when a man is looking for a woman to be submissive, he's looking for a woman that is confident enough, strong enough to sometimes fall back and be confident that he can lead and he can lead in the right way. That, That's what a man's looking for when he wants you to be more submissive. A man always wants to feel like a man, even in his lowest times. His pride, men, we have pride, and we stand strong on our pride. That's just what it is. So even in our lowest times, even if we down and out, a man always wants to feel like a man. A man doesn't want to be belittled. A man doesn't want someone who's always nagging and putting him down. Sometimes you can talk to a man instead of screaming at a man or yelling at a man. Talk to him. Lift him up with your words. Let him know what he could do better or how he could be greater without putting him down, without making him feel like what he's doing is not enough. So it's not what you do, it's how you do. And then also sometimes it's knowing when to just fall back and let that man be that man. Let that man lead. Let that man make the decision. Even if you don't fully agree with the decision, let that man lead. Now, it's a trick to that. When you don't agree with it, you can still let him lead, but you can also help his decision be even better by guiding him without making him feel like you're pushing him to the side and you're taking the lead. If that makes sense, if you understand. So it's how you move. It's how you move. A real man doesn't want you to stand behind him. A real man wants you to stand beside him. He wants to grow with you and not in front of you. So it's just how you move around that man. So that's my take on a woman being a real man wanting a woman to be submissive. Jacob, what's your take on it? What's your advice for this wife?
Being submissive. I look at it a little differently. Like I need
Jacob don't know.
Even in that lane. Even in that lane, I need somebody I could be vulnerable with too.
Okay.
Because even like in a situation that I'm in, like presently, I've seen where that's when the hardship really start and the issues start in relationships.
Okay.
Because they usually, well, I ain't gonna say usually, it don't happen all the time, but
what makes a woman submissive to you?
I've seen what makes a woman submissive to me.
Yes, that's what she's asking. What would you describe a submissive woman as? What would you need as a man? What would you need if you were saying you wanted a submissive woman? What would you expect her to be?
Now you said vulnerability.
I like strength in women though.
Okay, but a woman can be strong.
Exactly what I just said.
A woman can be strong.
That's what I was going to say.
That's the misconception. That's the misconception that a lot of women have. They don't think they can still be strong if they're submissive, and that is false.
And the problem is a lot of times they don't want to show that side because they've been through so much stuff.
Okay, but
and so, like you said,
or they might not know how to show that side.
That might be the issue.
That's why she's asking.
You're right.
That's why she's asking.
That's why she's asking. So go ahead.
So you don't know?
I'm honestly, because man, bruh. Honestly, somebody being there for me, being submissive is to me being there for me. Whenever I need, like, there's been times where I've needed certain things and that person wasn't there.
Okay.
Honestly, because one.
Okay. No, I mean,
see, if I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna go there.
No, please do. But
so dependability.
Right. I'm about to say dependability. That's what you need.
A big thing for me is a listening ear.
Okay.
That's a huge thing for me.
Okay.
And it's hard sometimes to get that.
Okay.
Because a lot of times, especially like the situation I'm in right now, a lot of time people feel like you're supposed to be stronger and you're supposed to do this and do that and do that. If I can't talk to you and sit down and talk to you and let you know what's going on with me without you beating me up,
that's what I was saying.
It's a problem,
but that's because
bro.
you like strong women.
Right.
That's a problem. No, well, see, no, that's well. Okay.
Listen, Jacob.
Never mind.
I can't wait for us to get to your coaching.
I was gonna say let's not
because
never mind.
Listen, I can't wait for us to get to your coaching session because you literally sat here and could not tell us what a submissive woman meant, right? What it means to you, right? And then you said, yeah, because see, I like my women strong, right?
Well, no,
so it seems like the display of strong to you.
What I'm saying
like
is,
aggressive women that are inconsiderate, that do whatever they run the relationship.
No. That's not. No, that's not.
I mean, I'm saying that's what it sounds like.
The problem is the facade that you get. You get a facade. It ain't real. Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. It ain't real. The facade that you get when you meeting that person, getting to know that person, and then later on they feel like they can release themselves because, oh, now we together. It's a facade. Okay. It ain't that I be looking for that, but that's what I find.
Okay. Listen, unmask it. What you don't require.
I don't though. I swear to God, I don't.
You don't what?
I put that on everything. I don't require that. That's not what I'm looking for. It's not. I look for.
I think you confused what I just said, but okay.
What you just say then? Say it again.
I said that's because of what you require. So let me say this. Let me give my 2 cents on this because I told you I'd been drinking my nighttime tea. Okay. I'm trying to hold on here.
Yeah, let's get Lala point of view.
Now I'm trying to hold on here. So I have
let's
I have
not
two
get
things.
Sidetracked into Jacob shenanigans. Let's
I have two things that I want.
I'll mute my own mic. Go ahead.
Stop, Jacob. I have two things that I want to say. Right. So the first thing is when I think of a submissive woman, I think of a woman that's soft. That doesn't necessarily mean that you can't be strong and you can't be, whatever. But you could be a complete boss and be a director of a whole organization, and your man don't want you to come home and boss him around like you do out there. You know what I'm saying? He wants you to be soft. He wants you to be his woman. Whatever the case may be. Now, I consider myself a submissive woman. And a lot of people feel like that I'm a pick-me, right? Because I am a submissive woman. And they feel like, I get walked all over top of and all that kind of stuff. And, I could never just be submissive and I'm a boss and I'm this and I'm that, right? But being submissive is really just like all about mental.
Yeah.
And I feel like if a woman is with a man that she feels like he's saying that she needs to be more submissive, then they're both not doing something right. So that speaks to the level of respect that she has for him. That speaks to the level of ability that she thinks he has. Because if you feel like if you can trust in the man that you have made the head of your household, if you can trust in him and you can feel like he's capable of leading, then quite naturally, as a woman, that's going to come natural to you. Whether it's something that you know how to do, whatever the case may be, because his presence is going to require that. Like his presence is going to command that, right? And that's what I meant by, Jacob, you don't require that. Because you can't require that if you, one, couldn't say what being submissive meant to you, and two, if you're not even sure within yourself and you have all of that going on, right? You can't be confident enough to exude what or command that type of
right there, Lala.
What you want from her. But the other thing that I wanted to say is that a lot of women, just have this idea that being submissive means that you're weak and you're vulnerable. And that's not the case, because in being submissive, you kind of win a lot. Like you kind of just got to know how to make, and I'm sorry to say this in the man cave, but you kind of just got to know what you're doing. It's all about mental, and it's all about like making him think that he's choosing that because it's what he wanted to do, but really it's what you wanted him to do. But you just got to fall back and let him, you present how you feel about it. Well, you know, babe, like, okay, I probably would have did it this way, or I kind of would have thought it would have, you know, whatever. But you know, whatever you decide, whatever. And then it leaves it up to him, and he's actually making the decision. But you are literally programming, you know, putting it out there, you know, how you want it to be. So I feel like being a part of being submissive is just being selective about how you approach situations. And like Cal said, just really allowing the man to feel like he's the man. Obviously, there's going to be times where you disagree. It's not saying that you're not going to voice your opinion or you're just going to let him walk all over top of you or anything, because in that you too as a woman have to command that respect, you know, from him. But I just feel like when I think of submissive, I think of, you know, a woman who has the ability to be soft and to, you know, give that feminine energy, something that's going to make even the strongest man, even the hardest man, you know, even the most difficult man, just kind of, you know, soften up and feel safe.
And that's true. That's very true, because, and I'm be honest with you, like, she's absolutely right. And I mean, once again, we in the cave, but like I said, I'm a king and I'm confident in mine. So I'm man enough to say that exactly. She's right. Lala's very right. A lot of times as being submissive, that doesn't take away from you being a strong woman. And she's absolutely right. A lot of times you do win in that type of situation. Allow that man to be that man, and you'll see how 10 times fold over how much you really do win. And I'm gonna tell you this. I learned that trick, Lala. I learned that trick. A lot of like
yeah, see, I'm probably over here giving like out white people, you know what I mean, giving out her little secrets and stuff. You know what I mean? I shouldn't even said that.
I learned that
told y'all.
No, I did learn that trick though. But it takes it takes a while for a man to really pick up on that. Like, oh,
but you don't mind because it works, right?
You don't mind. You know why we don't mind? Because we win too.
Right.
That's what she just said.
It's a win-win
situation.
Yeah.
Because you went with my idea, because you know what I'm saying, you the man, and you know what I'm saying, then we gotta talk to you nice after that.
There you go. That's right.
We gotta talk to you nice, because we on the same page.
There you go. Talk to you
know what I'm saying?
We both win together. So
you gotta be secure in the man that you are, though, to be willing to. But here's the thing with that, and here's the biggest thing that I want everybody to hear in that, right? Is that the man has to be confident enough to command that, right? He also has to respect and trust that woman enough. Yes. Same thing with the woman, right? Because same thing with a supervisor at work. You're not going to, if supervisor at work is not going to tell you, and you're going to be like, man, she don't even know what she's talking about. Like, they don't even, I can't even trust in your direction because you don't even know what you're talking about. Like, you don't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, your track record is not good. I can't put my trust in you. I'm not going to make this decision and mess up the whole line and, you know, whatever. And it's kind of that same thing. It's like, you have to be able to respect that person enough, trust that person enough. And that all comes down to you paying attention to detail, paying attention to red flags, getting to know that person, seeing that person in every season, so that you kind of can know, you know, their do's and their don'ts, the things that's going to push that red button for them, and so that you can kind of have that discernment of like when to push, when not to push. Some stuff you're just gonna be like, all right, I know, not even the, you know, whatever. So it goes into you, the person that you choose, and that's why I say, as a woman, you have to, you're not going to be submissive or feel like you can give in and be led by a man who you can't trust his leading. So what does that say about you as a woman? Like, you have to choose, you that's who you put as the head of your household. So if you can't trust in him, if you can't trust in his leading, then that's going to make it hard. And there's no amount of pointers that anybody could ever give you. You know what I'm saying? There's no advice that anybody could ever give you. If you don't trust that man, you don't have that level of respect for him, and he hasn't shown you that he can lead, that you can chill and let him lead.
That's right.
That's a problem within itself. That's like, that's the big issue right there.
There you go. That's absolutely right. Absolutely Correct. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. And I think that was a excellent way to end this episode of
Absolutely.
Like, whoo, there was a lot of jewels dropped tonight. A lot of jewels dropped tonight, and I hope everyone caught every last one of them. You know, we touched on a lot of different topics tonight, and we touched on a lot of, we made a lot of good points tonight. We spoke on the roles in the relationship. We spoke on ignoring the red flags and still choosing to stay in a relationship. We spoke about being submissive, being strong. We had the 20-minute counselor session with DJ Flavor.
And he's still over there looking up in the clouds.
Looking in the clouds, yeah. So,
he's just floating over there. Kind of lost a little.
He's reflecting on everything we
said. We got you though, Gator. We're gonna get you together. Together.
But first we're gonna send you our hourly rate. It's gonna take some work, so you're gonna have to pay like we weigh. Understand?
Right, because your girl is almost certified.
Like you weigh.
I'm literally almost a certified life coach. It's coming.
And I'm already certified. Hey. So
you are?
Yeah, okay. And not life coach. I'm gonna get that next, but I'm certified in crisis intervention.
Oh, okay.
And he definitely.
It's not a crisis intervention.
No. It's not. Well, I mean, hold on. I mean, because we have been talking about this for a while, and I think now we're just like,
wait a minute.
Let me say something. Let me say something. Crisis intervention has a lot to do with behavior patterns.
Yeah.
And two, listen, bro, it's connected. It's connected.
Yes, no. Listen, it definitely is. And my life coaching certificate specializes in emotional intelligence. So us understanding where the decisions come from that we make, and why we're attached to certain things, and why we make decisions the way that we do based on emotion and all of that. So
that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. All right, we're gonna touch on that, Lala. I'm gonna build with you on that backstage.
All right.
But let's bring the show to an end. Of course.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. Oh, anytime.
Anytime.
You are one of the few women that are always welcome in the cave. You already know that, so it's always a good time. So, let's start with you, Lala. Any last words you'd like to say to the listeners before we end the show?
No, I like I said, thank you for having me. I hope you guys catch us on the breakdown. I know we, had a break and all of that. We've had a lot that we've been working on individually, but thank you for having me. I'll see you guys on the breakdown. I have some stuff, in the works. Okay. And Favor, I'm sorry if I, got on your case, too much. It's all out of love.
I ain't sorry.
It's all out of love.
I ain't sorry.
And just thank you to the viewers for interacting with us. I know Facebook is definitely on a lag, so I apologize. I did see that Miss Mac had left a comment. I didn't see it until like way later. And as I tried to pull it up on my tablet, Facebook is definitely lagging, so we're gonna have to figure that out so that we can get everybody's comments. But thank you for having me, guys.
Oh, no problem, definitely. And DJ Favor, any last words for the listeners? And make it under 3 minutes.
The praise break will drop Sunday everywhere: Spotify, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, everywhere that you can hear the praise break. It drops Sunday for next month. Well, this month, should I say? Anyway, we have to talk. It's a lot.
His mind is blown right now. Y'all just gotta bear with him. Y'all just gotta bear with him. He's just
I will be honestly, I ain't dealt with it. So
we're gonna work on
it. That kind of where I was. Yeah. Okay. But yeah. We good. Okay. We good. Breakdown will be back. Like Layla said, look for us. We coming strong real soon.
Absolutely.
He absolutely right. The breakdown will be back, and as like the man cave, we took a couple. Took the summer off, to revamp and get some things together, and so did the breakdown. But the breakdown is coming back real soon with some new topics and some new things. I just want to say, as always, thank you for all our listeners and our viewers for tuning into the show, listening to us, your feedback. We appreciate it. It's wonderful. We really enjoy it. And we will always address any topics and any questions that any of our listeners and fans have. Send us emails. You can send it to tdrmancavepodcast@gmail.com, and we will get back to you, or you can send it to our DMs, any one of us, and we'll definitely address it on the next show and get back to you. Or you can join the show live and leave your comments, and we still, we will address them. We don't leave no comments or no concerns unanswered. They all will get answered and get addressed, because without you, would be no us. We do appreciate you. The Man Cave was created and designed to give a man's point of view on all type of topics. And as we elevate it, it's become more than just giving a man's point of view. We also are here to help the women understand how a man thinks and the understanding of a man, a real man. So definitely, chime in, because that's what we're here for. We're men, and we're going to always give it to you real and honest and genuine, because we definitely, care about all our listeners and all our viewers. Understand, as we said earlier, there's always a role in a relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's, you're engaged or married. We all have roles. Step up to the plate, own your role, and make it great. Always be true to yourself and never ignore any of the red flags, and understand that you being submissive is not you being weak. It's just finding another way to be great and for y'all to be great together. So we just want to say thank everybody for tuning into the Man Cave. Once again, I'm your host, Kyle Williams, joined by DJ Favor and our special guest, Miss Lala. So everybody, you have a great night. Continue greatness. We out.